Larry Boyer is here with us with Volleys for Veterans. And Sheldon, we feel like we know Larry Boyer in just about the time that we think that. You served in the United States Air Force.
20 years, 4 months, and 11 days, but who's counting?
Yes, but look, you look so sharp.
Oh, thank you.
And you were here just on, we usually get to talk cars and Corvettes with you, but I just want you to know we're so glad you're here. And tell us about your service before we even start.
Well, about 12 years ago, some local veterans and retirees discovered that there was a problem when people asked for military honors for a veteran's funeral, because the funeral home would contact the nearest military installation and ask for the detail. But because of budget cuts, there wasn't enough money to send more than 2 or 3 people. You cannot do full military honors, rifles and bugle and all the other things that go with it, with just 2 people. So they formed Volleys for Veterans. We have about 60 volunteers that are currently active. There's been more, but right now about 60 that are active. And we do, for any honorably discharged veteran, we will do their military honors. We fold the flag, we fire the rifles, we play taps, we can get bagpipes in if you want them. Personally, I think it sounds like drowning a cat, but that's just me, because I've never been a bagpipe fan, but some people, that's what they want. But anyway, all of that is done absolutely free of charge. We're all volunteers, and we are all wanting to do this to honor our veterans, and it's never a pleasure to go to a funeral, but it is an honor to be able to do that for the families.
So in these situations, so you're saying, you do these free for the families and everything, but there's still a lot of supplies and things that you need to pay for. So if people want to help out this cause, maybe they can't directly help out, but they can help out monetarily. What do you say to people who maybe want to donate?
They can go to our website, which is www.volleysforveterans.com, no spaces in there. And there's a place in where it talks about where you can send a donation. There's a post office box they can send it to, if they really want to. And usually what happens is, at the culmination of the funeral, we'll shake hands with the next of kin, and they'll press something into our hand and say, go have lunch. Well, we don't go have lunch. We put it into the coffers for the Volleys folks. So it's an honor to be able to do this, and I've been doing it now for about 8 years. In 2019, before COVID hit, our little group did 400 funerals that year.
Oh.
I've done as many as 4 funerals in one day, because our veterans are falling rapidly.
Yes.
And the fact that we have that many to do is more the reason why we do it, because otherwise these folks would go unrecognized, and they need to be recognized.
I'm really glad that you said that, because I want. Are people still knowing about our veterans? Are we doing enough to let them know that we love our veterans, that we honor them? I mean, I hope that we're getting that across. I know the last couple of years have been rough, but I just wonder, in our society, do you think we're doing enough to get the word out there that we love our veterans, that we've got to wear red, white, and blue and love them in the United States?
Well, Vietnam was a very, very trying time, and a lot of folks came back from Vietnam and were disrespected. That has done a 180-degree turn, and now veterans, I can't go anywhere without my Air Force hat on or wearing like this uniform and not be given a handshake and a very good thank you from the people who see me there. And I really appreciate that. And my response to that is thank you for your support, because they want to thank me for my service, but without their support, it wouldn't be possible. So it's a very a good thing that the American public is supporting the military the way they are today, and hopefully they can continue to do that.
I hope so. Please. Veterans Day is so important. Tell us about, what did you do in the Air Force, and tell us a little bit about you look so nice today, Larry.
Well, I have this little silver pin up here that says I was in the Enlisted Medical Corps.
Okay.
The Enlisted Medical Corps is anybody that's working throughout the hospital. So I was considered a medic, but I never touched a patient, because my job was down on the flight line, safety for the flight line people. We took care of noise, vibration, chemical exposure, all sorts of things that they could potentially be exposed to on the job. It's really a lot like being the guy who makes sure OSHA is not going to bother the boss.
Oh, gotcha.
So, of course, the Air Force is not subject to OSHA, but we had our own safety standards that were really the same thing as what OSHA was doing, but done in a military standard.
Sure. How excited are you for the newly Space Force? I mean, adding that to our
A very good
military.
friend of mine posted on Facebook one day. He said, "It seems like I was just in the Air Force yesterday, and now he's in the Space Force." But it's an interesting thing that we've had a breakout now. Now you have to go back to 1947 when the Army Air Corps turned into the United States Air Force. So this is not something that has never happened before. It's just another, oh, what's a good word for that?
Well, I just feel adding on to our military and
Natural progression of things.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
But I think that, man, I just hope our young people still have that to serve and still love the USA, and we want to keep that instilled, I think, in our young people.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So important.
Well, we try to be ambassadors for the service as well.
Yeah, that
and
is
as we tell
important.
people, the Air Force is really the way to go because they treat us better.
Oh, I'm
There's
so
always an
glad.
argument with that.
I
but
know it.
trust
I
me.
know it. But I'm glad you said. Well, Volleys for Veterans. Thank you so much, Larry, for coming. And I hope Veterans Day Parade. We want to invite everyone to that. That is 9 o'clock Saturday morning. Bring your red, white, and blue down polk,
Absolutely.
please. We invite everyone. I love it what you said about 9 o'clock start. You've got to share it because it was so funny. I think that usually we have parades that are at 10 o'clock.
Yes, but it's not going to be cold enough at 9 and 10 o'clock.
So we just moved it on up to 9.
This is a nice heavy jacket.
Oh, good, good. Larry, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you. You're doing so much, and the guys and women that are with you, we appreciate them.
And thank you for your support.
Yes, thank you. Come back anytime, Well, Warren Coble is here with the Hilton